Alright, we're coming up to a holiday season, and I thought I would address a topic that I often have to address during the holiday season because it would make a good video for me to point to next time I run into the same issue and not have to give another 10-minute lecture, right? I'll just record this one time. So a lot of people have a hard time believing that I need to be so strict on my diet. Right, I have high functioning autism, and it really helps me to avoid sugar, among other ingredients, MSG, and I haven't cheated for 17 years now, and people find that hard to believe, and they wonder why I can't eat a more balanced diet, right? Well, I actually had a situation this past week that taught me that if something has worked for 17 years, maybe it's best not to disturb it, right? So right now I work at a university and a tutoring center, and then I have a few one-off clients that I do tutoring with. And I have one client on Wednesdays, but I have the tutoring center, which ends at 7 o'clock, and then I got to start with this other client at 7:30. I have to drive somewhere, either back home or somewhere with Wi-Fi, and often very rushed. And last week I was tempted to call the student's family to see if I could reschedule. I didn't want to reschedule the work at the tutoring center because I didn't want to lose any hours there. I know some of the other people there are not especially flexible. I didn't want to bother the other people at the tutoring center. Right now in 2021, my biggest asset is my connection with locals here, so I didn't want to upset that balance there. But I was tempted to call the student just to see if it's possible to reschedule, but I thought better of it because I've had other clients in the past. You got to understand, some of these tutoring clients that I do, they're relatively wealthy. They have a lot of options for tutoring, and the smallest ask can scare them away. I had a client who had called me one spring, I think it was April or May, they called me. They wanted tutoring during the summer, and I learned in recent times that if somebody inquires, make sure you send one email that addresses all the questions you have. Or don't send 20 or 30 emails back and forth, because it makes it that much harder to walk away if something is not right. But I made the mistake. I exchanged a dozen emails or so. And I was just about to close the deal, and I'm a very nice guy. I tell the client's mom, I have a conference in August. The conference is August 5th to 8th, or whatever it was. But the conference is in Taiwan. I want to have a holiday before or after it. Is it better for you guys if I do it the week before or the week after? Oh, it's not going to work for us. We don't want to miss any weeks. And I haven't even booked the plane ticket. This is April when we're negotiating this. I haven't even booked the ticket or the trip or even the conference fee. I haven't even finished writing the paper, actually, to be honest. And I emailed back, can I find out more about the tutoring? Because I haven't even booked the conference. If if it works, I can stay. They stopped responding to me. And I learned the hard way that you gotta be very careful. And if something you can put up with it, put up with it. If it's life or death, right? It's 7:30. If it's 7 o'clock after the tutoring center and all of a sudden my car doesn't start, that's the time when it's time to call the client, right? But before that, you put up with it. Now, getting back to the diet. Why would I want to upset that balance, right? If it's an emergency, okay, at that point we can deal with it. People often ask me, what if I'm stranded and I only have junk food around? Can we worry about that when that happens? I haven't for 17 years, I haven't ran into that, right? I don't have that many 17 years left in my life. I'll probably never run into it. But when I do, I trust that I'll make the right decision, right? Why would I want to rock the boat just to test that system, right? And so it's worked for me. I think the bigger problem is why does it bother you what I eat, right? Now, people have the audacity to say, why don't you eat a balanced diet? So your definition of balance is somebody who has been stable for 17 years, has not had a craving for junk for sugar in 17 years, you want them to try and upset that balance to see if it tips over. You call that balance? I'll let you think about that.